Right now, as you're watching this, you're doing something absolutely ridiculous. You're searching for meaning in a universe that couldn't care less about you. Think about it. When did you last question why you need life to have meaning? What if I told you that your desperate search for purpose is actually the very thing keeping you from truly living? Here's what's fascinating. Every single day, billions of people wake up and continue existing without any cosmic guarantee that their lives matter. Yet somehow, we keep going. We fall in love, create art, build relationships, chase dreams, all while floating on a tiny rock in an infinite void that offers us zero explanation for why we're here. But here's where it gets interesting. There was one philosopher who had the audacity to look this terrifying truth straight in the eye and say, "Perfect. Now we can finally start living." His name was Albert Camus, and he discovered something that will completely flip your understanding of what it means to be alive. What if the very meaninglessness you fear is actually your greatest freedom? What if the absence of cosmic purpose is exactly what makes your choices matter? Welcome to the absurd. And no, this isn't some philosophical joke. This is the most serious revelation you'll ever encounter about your existence. Picture this. You're standing in a vast library, desperately searching for a book that contains the meaning of life. You pull book after book from the shelves, but every single page is blank. The universe, it turns out, is that library. Camus called this the absurd, the head-on collision between our human need for answers and the universe's complete silence. Think about it. We're meaning-seeking creatures thrown into a meaningless cosmos. It's like being a detective in a world without crimes, a translator without languages, a lover without the possibility of being loved back by existence itself. But here's what's mind-blowing. This isn't a bug in the system, it's the feature. Every morning when you wake up asking, "What's the point?" you're experiencing the most fundamentally human moment possible. You're feeling the absurd, that anxiety, that existential dread, that sense that something is missing. That's not depression, that's clarity. Consider your daily life. You brush your teeth, go to work, have conversations, make plans for the future. Why? There's no cosmic rulebook telling you to do these things. No universal authority guaranteeing that any of it matters. Yet you do it anyway. This is the beautiful contradiction of human existence. The absurd isn't something to solve or escape. It's something to recognize. Once you see it clearly, everything changes. Because when you stop expecting the universe to hand you meaning on a silver platter, you realize something extraordinary. You've been free to create your own meaning all along. What if the very thing you've been running from is actually the door to authentic living? This is the question that stops everyone cold. Camus didn't ask it to be dark or edgy. He asked it because it's the only question that matters. If life truly has no inherent meaning, if we're just cosmic accidents floating through space, then why continue this charade? Why get up tomorrow? Why care about anything at all? Most philosophers dance around this question. Camus grabbed it by the throat. He said, "There is but one truly serious philosophical problem, and that is suicide. Judging whether life is or is not worth living amounts to answering the fundamental question of philosophy." Brutal. Yes. Necessary. Absolutely. But here's where Camus becomes brilliant. He doesn't give you some comforting lie about hidden meanings or divine purposes. Instead, he shows you something far more powerful. The very fact that you're still here, still breathing, still choosing to exist moment after moment, reveals something profound about human nature. Think about it. Every single day, you make the choice to live. Not because some cosmic force compels you, not because there's a grand plan, but because something in you rebels against non-existence. That rebellion, that's not weakness. That's the most heroic act possible. If you've made it this far in this video, you're already proving Camus's point. You're choosing engagement over emptiness, curiosity over surrender. And if this perspective is shifting something in your mind, hit that like button, because we're about to go even deeper. Subscribe to Mind Revelation because these aren't just philosophical concepts, they're tools for living authentically in an absurd world. The question isn't why you should live. It's how magnificently you can live once you stop waiting for permission from the universe. What if your very existence is already the answer to the question you've been asking? Meet Sisyphus, A man condemned by the gods to push a massive boulder up a mountain for eternity. Every time he reaches the top, the rock rolls back down. Every single day for all of eternity, the same meaningless task. Sound familiar? It should, because Sisyphus is you. Sisyphus is all of us. But here's where Camus blows your mind. He calls Sisyphus the happiest man who ever lived. Wait, what? A man doomed to eternal, pointless labor is happy? This isn't some twisted joke. This is the key to everything. Picture Sisyphus at the bottom of the mountain, watching his rock tumble down once again. In that moment, he has a choice. He can curse the gods, rage against his fate, or spend eternity wishing things were different. Or, and this is revolutionary, he can turn toward that rock and say, you know what? This rock is mine, this mountain is mine, this struggle is mine, and I'm going to make it beautiful. Camus writes, the struggle itself toward the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. Think about your own life, your daily commute, your relationships, your work, your dreams that sometimes crumble and need rebuilding. You're Sisyphus. We're all pushing our rocks up our mountains. But here's the secret. The moment you stop waiting for the rock to stay at the top, the moment you stop demanding that your efforts have eternal significance, you become free to find joy in the pushing itself. The rock isn't your punishment, it's your canvas. The mountain isn't your prison, it's your stage. Sisyphus teaches us that happiness isn't found in achieving some final, permanent meaning. It's found in the full embrace of our human condition, rocks and all. When you stop fighting the absurdity and start dancing with it, something magical happens. You become unbreakable. What if the very thing you think is crushing you is actually making you invincible? So you've seen the absurd, you've met Sisyphus, and you're still here. Now what? Camus gives us 3 pillars for living authentically in an absurd world: revolt, freedom, and passion. These aren't just philosophical concepts. They're your roadmap to a life that's fully alive. First, revolt. This isn't about smashing windows or starting revolutions. This is about refusing to accept the absurd passively. It's saying no to despair, no to nihilism, and no to the temptation to escape into false hopes or comforting illusions. Revolt means looking meaninglessness in the face and choosing to live anyway, not despite the absurd, but because of it. Think about your own life. Every time you create something beautiful, knowing it won't last forever. Every time you love someone knowing you'll lose them. Every time you pursue a dream without guarantee of success. That's revolt. You're rebelling against the universe's indifference by caring anyway. Second, freedom. When you stop waiting for cosmic permission to live, you realize something extraordinary. You're radically free. No predetermined essence, no fixed destiny, no script written in the stars. You get to choose your values, create your meaning, write your own story. This freedom is terrifying and exhilarating in equal measure. Third, passion. If this is the only life you get, if there's no cosmic scorekeeper tallying your achievements, then the only rational response is to live with maximum intensity. Feel everything deeply. Experience everything fully. Squeeze every drop of juice from this absurd, beautiful existence. Here's what's incredible. When you embrace these 3 pillars, you don't become a nihilist. You become more alive than ever. You stop sleepwalking through life waiting for meaning to arrive and start creating meaning with every breath. What if the secret to fulfillment isn't finding your purpose, but choosing to be purposeful in everything you do? Here we are, at the end of our journey together, and if you've made it this far, you've already proven something remarkable about yourself. You've chosen to engage with ideas that most people spend their entire lives avoiding. You've stared into the absurd and didn't blink. That takes courage, the kind of courage that Camus would have admired. So let me ask you something. How does it feel to know that you're completely free? Not free in some abstract philosophical sense, but free in the most practical, immediate way possible. Free from the crushing weight of having to justify your existence to the universe. Free from the impossible task of finding a meaning that was never there to begin with. Free to create, to love, to struggle, to laugh, to cry. Not because these things serve some cosmic purpose, but because you choose them. This is Camus' ultimate gift to us. The recognition that our freedom isn't limited by the absence of inherent meaning. It's unlimited because of it. Every morning when you wake up, you're not following a script written by fate or destiny. You're improvising the most beautiful, tragic, absurd, magnificent performance in the history of the universe. Your life. Think about what this means for how you live today, tomorrow, next year. You don't need permission from the cosmos to pursue your dreams. You don't need a guarantee that your love will be returned, that your work will be remembered, that your struggles will lead somewhere meaningful. You just need the courage to choose life, again and again, in full knowledge of its absurdity. If this message has moved something in you, if you're feeling that spark of rebellion against meaninglessness, write one word in the comments that captures how you're feeling right now. Maybe alive, free, rebel, or whatever resonates with your soul. You've journeyed through some of the deepest philosophical territory with me, and that deserves recognition. Stay until the very end, because there's one final thought I want to leave you with. Camus once wrote, "In the midst of winter I found there was, within me, an invincible summer." You are that invincible summer. You are the meaning you've been searching for. You are the answer to the question of why life is worth living. The universe may be silent, but you are gloriously, defiantly, beautifully loud. Now go live like it.